protest 3 days ago. Moenya Governor of the Bank of Ghana for petition no amano. Enran yet is a governor and international business portal be edin komo eden initial response aba and for omoa etie mene honorable Ayariga interview no me kind except of his response essentially the orca and it said the demonstration itself is completely unnecessary. The minority in parliament have many channels to channel their grievances in civilized societies, not through demonstrations in the street as hooligans. He also makes the point that the impairment of the bank's holdings of debt, which led to the losses, which is one of the major reasons in Tiamuye demonstration, also a conditionality for the IMF program, and nobody at the Bank of Ghana forgave any debt as claimed. And he also makes the point that the new headquarters building, SHRC in 2019, and this was when the bank was profitable and appropriated some of its profits for the new headquarters. It was not a decision taken during a crisis. And in essence, the response to more, and then I'll come home.
Obi.
Yes.
Maminchia etiephobia. Mrs. Devia sending me picture for America. We try me now. I say I'm watching you live. Stay Rama. Michia. Me catching is on my name dollars. So my name is so I sending me photo say or share me. Until share me, I miss no my name dollars. This year. MPP former accommodate.
Now to Ghana dollar na di.
Na say about message.
Say na o kan ho bi ni sika yi say.
Say. Na MPP for say sika ni dada. O man say sika ni dada.
Obi has my
Obi. Bank of Ghana assembly.
Okay.
Upon a more serious note, a year areho. A year ebufu. E ma ye pese ye fi. A year time. A year the highest level of Obia onye responsible. Unfortunately, we're finding himself in that position through political means. Obi, se wo ko page me bia wo krom ha. I say unye obia uye decent. Uye obia utumi ni nipa yede e kasa. Tina ye wo bibi e friend customer service. Say untumi fa nipa yede en kasa ye. We that we went to demonstrate, we are taxpayers. It is our yesika ena yeditua governor nika. Se me mistake here, mati se governor no or G salary be say 80,000 Ghana cedi a month. Etie for eye momu sika ena eye minsumi sika ena yeditua governor we eka. Na se yetua 80,000 Ghana cedi a month, aside bonuses, aside traveling allowance, aside bibiao. Na afeye mawe jumana, na wunye jumani ye, what violate Bank of Ghana Act na e show say, yeni say, one fe ni die bia ma Ghana for. A violate Bank of Ghana Act. Na yen ye tua wo kano yanchi tuo yanchi kranti yen fa adade ye exercise ye civil rights ananti boko hwe edom. Don't say we were in our thousands, we were in our millions, because bebre wo mo demonstrate ye wo mo dem bebre ye demonstration na ye nam kwan ne ho no. Market phone nyina ejai ni amane to mo nyina be line up, so they shouldn't count only we are na yese red. There were millions of Ghanaians in this country. Now outside the chronicle man joining you, we are talking about the other regions that were demonstrating in their rooms, in their homes with us. Until we were millions of people demonstrating. Na ye ko demonstrate ye do ho. One bambeji petition. One more deputies ambeji petition. One smart director of security, some bambeji petition. inside the Bank of Ghana, no, there's a department of friend or your PR. There should be a PR manager. Or no need say or your communications. Governor answer PR room. Meji your letter. Because on him so no ankasa what ye bonny ye bans to inti was small security director so me face yen na se bi commotion bi ba security obey yen and now security director no be yen dey.
They will not say Omeji petition.
They had a reason for bringing him.
Really?
Of course. Their reason for bringing the security director and they say we are civilized people. The people of Ghana that demonstrated, we are intelligent and we are wise. We didn't have any intention say and you know onim say wa ye bone bone na wa ye no ebetumi awarranty ensemfo fronti wasuma champion ata security director ajeni coach aboni tai aba begina obefesi yen. But I just always say me there is say NDC no we are not violent people. You're violent. Na me demonstration me kai obi me sinka police for no ye che omo 1:1 to say me say ye ma me mienu wo mu a
can you be corner pepe
ben le one mo be dealing can say ye che police for no 1:2 protesters 1:2 protesters ye no one mo be con boot for boot pepe. But in this country where we are we believe in democracy. That is why we will not do that. That is why they had the guts mumfaha mamumfaha ya blocky her ya blocky her emma wo mu frustrating yen sa kopim time a ye den ye dikodu BOG home na mama nche tie fom ye kasa obi ye what's the word hooligan etie fom Cambridge dictionary a violent person who fights or causes damage in public places. A violent person who fights or causes damage in public places. That's the Cambridge dictionary for hooligans. No?
The definition for hooligan.
The definition ye. It just say encrofa woman di woman who near. Woman says public in ya. Woman ye basabasa.
To trust them.
Yeah. And listen, now she said governor ye. Okache say yen. Yeah.
We are to trust.
Yeah, to trust him. No, me na kasa wa any space say koto a. So be ka me say, me ka say me train sign.
Trouble.
So obi, so be ka say me train sign.
We need too much of it.
Me can you, Mrs. Me can. Me can
direct.
O say
hooligan dey direct.
Yeah, but say hooligan one can show we so trouble. Radio can.
Me can, Mrs. Me can.
On a say the honorable AEDA bi na Xavier so so ade bi. Say me can. The men can o dey to aso ma me.
And you why any space say me die bi. Aba be hwe yen won space ni. Aba be hwe. And I am buefu pa me.
I was say now say
I was also calm down. Say you be man na over down.
Me be say me sere. Me buefu. I any space say me die bi. Aba be hwe yen won gogos nim. Aba be to ye din. Come and insult the members of parliament, insult the working class that left their jobs to come and demonstrate. Wababe the disabled that sacrificed. Wababe the old women that came. Wababe the children that have no good education that were picking rubbers and bottles from the floor. Wababe yenina. What's the react now? Let me tell the governor. His mates at the Bank of England, his mates at the Bank of America, they are doing good jobs. They can never come out and come and call people names when people demonstrate against them. I was on a show that particular day. One of the MPP guys was showing. So Kachem said the devil finds work for the idle hands. Just our patch say the devil has found work for us. And I'm sure say, Wakani ye, na nuham, wakane pepe person yetie, because if the MPP government is not a devil, how can we be on the street? So the government that is the devil has found work for us to do, and we are doing that work diligently, and we will do it diligently. Let me read something to you. BOG in the Constitution.
Okay.
The Bank of Ghana shall be the Central Bank of Ghana and shall be the only authority to issue the currency of Ghana. Promote and maintain the stability of the currency of Ghana and direct and regulate the currency system in the interest of the economic progress of Ghana. Ekosiisen be the sole custodian of state funds of Ghana, both in and outside Ghana, and may, by notice, publish in the Gazette, authorize any other person or authority to act as a custodian of any such fund as may be specified in the notice. It goes on and on and on. The job that the BOG is supposed to do, he is supposed to make sure, governor, no, he is supposed to ensure, say, our city doesn't depreciate. And no, won't performing with Juma. Obi, who could pay Juma? Your mouth, your friend is saying, targets.
KPIs.
Yes, you are giving targets. The target of the Bank of Ghana governor is to ensure that our city doesn't depreciate. What's now? I'm a city in 2016, I have 4 cities, 50 pesos. Ababe do 11 cities, so 12 cities. Sometime last year, city was 15 cities. What's now? Ashe, sa, basa ya wa ye. Na ye bekaya. Ube tu bro farmer and say ye hooligans. No, say, let me calm down.
Somebody says I should tell you, sir. The governor didn't say the demonstrators are hooligans, or say the demonstrators were demonstrating like hooligans. That is different from saying the demonstrations are hooligans.
So we were demonstrating like hooligans. And the person who sent you this message thinks, Nana thinks it's okay for a governor we pay with our taxpayer, our taxes, to come and tell us that we were demonstrating like hooligans. Sometimes violence begins violence. The things, if I was not sitting here as an NDC communicator and I was sitting here as the Naneke I am, every bank of Ghana a long time ago. But I sit here in the name of the NDC, and my people, we are decent. I have to represent them as such. The next time I will pay for airtime, I'll come and sit here, the Naneke I am, and he will have the shock of his life. Now, let me explain the issues to Let me explain the issues to ETFO for those who don't have the idea to understand. We are saying, say, Bank of Ghana on any regulatory body. Say, Obi, on nona or share small banks. Say, ye bankers.
Yes.
Bank of Ghana no, and a share small banks. So, or no, yes, say, oh, make sure. Say, banks in kitten no. Mboka ono na se bank nkitinkitu no ehia sika wo me ba ko bone ho bosia ono na se MDB ana se manager bi e was small banks no enye ni ya ono no be call wo to order. Bank of Ghana ne ka say we shouldn't invoice in dollars ono no di buy. This Bank of Ghana now or say we shouldn't invoice in dollars no be. Their building has been invoiced in dollars. And you come and tell us we are demonstrating like hooligans. What are you doing yourself there? You yourself, what are you doing like you yourself also who here to say what are you also behaving like? You that you say our city, our invoices shouldn't be quoted in dollars. You have bought a building that is quoted in dollars. 250,000 a day in dollars. What's the figure? $1 million. Obi, yeti kromuha. And Bank of Ghana be declare almost 400 banks insolvent. Chese one more liability no. I am more than
assets.
One more assets. And a Bank of Ghana ebe collapse banks in Obi. Kai says our banks na Bank of Ghana collapse no. obi kaise na clean na wo ho kaise no obi a o supply nsuo won say ye ba nsuo komdi yen obi abre nsuo obi kaise na security man gina ho or direct vehicles obi kai say electricians were going into those banks to fix electrical things obi all these people lost their jobs. All these people became jobless all of a sudden, instantly, without any notice. That is how wicked this MPP government is. And I wonder how come almost still have the nerves to be on radio to defend something. It hurts me, breaks my heart. All these people became jobless. And the owners of those banks, one more helpless. A big crave, a beer suffer stroke. Now be ye we na afei de Wankasa Bank of Ghana no what ba be boka 60.8 billion cedis. Ye be kan ya o se ma yenka. We should keep quiet. We can't call you to order because you are above the rule of law.
Also, there are civilized means and can be to me afaso.
So does he understand democracy? The president no or ni bar ikroma say obefa ni governor no. Our president now or man is our position no. That president or our president demonstrated in Kumipreko. Was he behaving like why did not mean person about my president? When the president was doing Kumipreko no. Now BOG governor no party say he was also demonstrating like a hooligan and I said what is he trying to say? We have our civil rights to demonstrate on anything we are not happy about. Obi, we have the right to demonstrate. It is in our constitution. And tinka ono no bet say send yen show your frustration. Ananka yen den ka yen bra ni fi ananka yen den. Ananka yen be kutukutu no na yen pa ni cho na yen so ni nan say oh he nie wa boy ka o nti what did he expect us to do apart from demonstrate? He should come up and tell us. What was he expecting us to do? How else was he expecting us to vent our anger as Ghanaians? How else? Obi, what Ghana ka? What your mismanagement? Expenditure omo diaba. Obi, me see ye ko demonstration no. Ye ka ni ko gina Bank of Ghana building na omo sinase. Obi me see me gina wona na mahweso na me bonya me mpa is the traffic nin contentem na building yamba me collapse engu yeso. Oh,
adan.
The building they claim is $250 million. No? Usha building, they have not finished. It is just pillars and flows, pillars and flows, pillars and flows, pillars and flows to the highest whatever floor they want to get to. Now, one more use quantity surveyor. The quantity surveyor is supposed to break down how many iron rods is needed.
Yes.
How many cement is needed. How much stones and sand is needed. Laborers no yet young per day and per month or whatever. Quantity surveyor no ma almost quantity way no
bills of quantity no.
based on that building being our mercy home.
Yes.
Or catch say it's $250 million. Well, they should bring their quantity surveyor document for us to see. Quantity surveyor no they should bring that document for us to analyze how much iron rods they bought, for us to analyze how much cement they used, for us to analyze how much they pay the workers, for us to go through it and sum it up for us to see whether it's equivalent to that figure they are mentioning.
Yeah, but the building of a central bank might not be just the brick and mortar. Sometimes the security features, some of the things that go in there. It goes beyond cement finishing blocks.
Bibia endusa. In any case, one must say one more movie from one more previous accurate.
Sure.
Because of the earthquake.
Earthquake prone. Asase
wuso. One must say how ya asase wuso prone. Obi, Google it. Me say asase wuso area bia according to information I will Google. XSA is the whole of Accra. I'm talking about Greater Accra. It's all earthquake prone. And see, we will cast a movie from Makolano. Nanka will go winchi, and I say Gleme, and I say Ho and Tamale, and I say Navrongo. You cannot tell us you are moving from Accra to Reach and that you are protected from earthquake prone. Baby, a woman opposite them is GCB Bank. That is the same place that is it who owns the enterprise insurance? That is the same place his building is. Their head office, that's where it is. Backless is there. That is where all the judges, Ogbonshos judges, now drive it call. That is the biggest market. Makola. That is where everybody is.
Okay.
Now what do you catch there and say? Because you dear, we nipa sin yenina enti udwane ejayen wo makola ho na earthquake ni ba na be kunye nyina na mo dia matena rage din na mo ho atom obi when something is not making sense, let us be bold and say that it is not making sense. Now this BOG governor no so ba apologize to Ghanaians.
Oh, okay.
He must come out and apologize to we the demonstrators that were demonstrating against him. He has not behaved himself well.
Very well. Okay.
When behaving well at all. Senior Kasa said he's arrogant, he's inconsiderate, he doesn't know what democracy is all about, he's intolerant and all that. That is what he has demonstrated to us that he is. There was a time when I was a child. I lived in the bank quarters. Those times the women that were working at the bank quarters, at the bank, they were wearing green. Jerry Kells. That was the days of Agama. Governor party, party were governor fee, party. The governor was so nice. That Agama governor was so nice. And all he wakojina home. Ejuma pa or ye nema obi so buy or mouse be so buy. Now we will buy our bedudin. Uba be jiwudin aye niam tatan time basa ye we so ba be ye account next year ye be prosecute no because dia why a criminal offense ye to boss dia why a criminal offense and time run very fast dia ye hu say ewiase no the time the clock ticks very very fast and dia ye ma abotre any edim nimdie endi en kind because ochina and wakra and saba
mate nana equia avle any attaining cano akosia bremu na mintio. You've listened to demonstrators and your more concerns where the governor aka eto saying me pacho.
Okay, I'm to make sure here for that demonstration. No, I would say sorry, there were several views. One on the participation in terms of the numbers. What's it 10,000? What's it tens of thousands? What's a few hundreds? The little I saw, I wasn't impressed to continue watching. I just wanted to see what would happen after that, especially the fallout of it. Now, me kind of say, at the tail end of it, in terms of the comments by certain representatives, it came up as very, it lacked some principle. So, for instance, I would take Honorable Atuforsen comment on it. So Atuforsen talks about BOG, talks about losses, and makes it seem say it being seen. But if you would recall, in 2014, he was a member of the board. In fact, there were calls for Tekpe at the time as finance minister and Wampa as BOG governor. There were calls for them to leave their posts. If you would also recall, and it didn't lead to protests on the streets to the point where a lot of misinformation abounds, right? Now, they are not and say, especially with the call on the governor, say, Wankasei, 2 videos went viral. One of it was a member of parliament for the NDC, Honorable Susu. And some more kind mean to mean airtime. And I think that subsequently I saw a statement saying he didn't say that. Then later on I saw a statement saying he did say that and apologizes for it. Now it was even more insulting seeing that in the middle of the protest. That went viral. I saw the outrage that people had, especially as a member of parliament. You're supposed to hold yourself to a certain level. I say, I say, you know, for at least when you're put in a certain position, you're supposed to act a certain way. We are known to China. Then the back lash, and as Mecca say, the response to Nipana Obeji petition. they've described him as Obia or a security man. Yes, he saw a watchman, he saw a messenger, all sorts of things. To the point where I saw that there was some bit of PR highlighting who he is, his education, his credentials. Interestingly, for NDC, before they went on this particular protest, there had been at least a month-long community engagement. They didn't hide that fact. There were pictures of them engaging in communities. You see it on their WhatsApp statuses. A lot of money went into that. They go, they engage them, they leave with something small. They have resources to have engaged the people and to motivate them to come out. So I expected a mammoth crowd. But I've looked to dismiss sizes of crowds sometimes, because sometimes you look at the substance of what they're advocating for. Say, then I walk, you're busy who are there putting a walk. And even this morning, na me mommy paying or Auntie Nanaya on TV3, and I'm saying, when it comes to inflation, there are several drivers of inflation. Yes, the BOG will stabilize at best. But about food inflation, it's not the purview of the BOG. It's fact. But you do want to see Boniaka say, you want to determine whether they plant or grow something. At the end of the day, he who calls for equity should come with clean hands. You can't insult the very people that you claim to be advocating for. After Honorable Susu, Obek Kasayan, who was he referencing? Was he referencing government? Was it government he was speaking to in that insult? And also when it was Honorable Sam George, as a security man, Omuko engage community for when there's security men in there, when they're persons of average rank and file, HSAB and they don't even have jobs, to say the least, so that you want them to come out and complain, say a jumanye. So how do you then disregard people that way and then dismiss whoever took the petition? Yes, I haven't seen a template for protest and who takes a petition or not. It gives, there's a mark of respect that the person you are coming for probably shows up. But I haven't seen a guideline or some template that says whoever you are going to see should come out. And especially because in running up to it, if you've seen the insults and things online, the last thing that the governor wants is to be caught up in an exchange of words with somebody. I don't know what his reasons are. But I would also talk about the hooligan comment. I found it worrying because, you see, sometimes when people go for protests, no evidence, even the mischief that was curated. You talk about the fact, say, we're breaking laws. Yet, in the very act, the Bank of Ghana Act, which they amended, 2016 Act, 30, the clause 6, it states categorically, and it's not even a gray area, that in the event of an emergency or crisis, between the BOG, the finance minister and controller, they can sit and take decisions. COVID, look, Obi, you can dismiss it any way you want to. You can mock it, maybe because no member of your family died, maybe because it didn't affect you, and I say nobody was touched by it. I know families that lost 5 family members. They were celebrating their father's birthday. Papa Nankaze wuye, Neba wuye, Ninis wuye. And this is outcome of COVID. We saw if we got to a point where people said it only seems that people affiliated to the government who are dying, it's like NDC people are not dying. And I found it so sad because I knew people who died from COVID. Oyanedeng is a once in 100-year pandemic. I don't think you know anybody alive who is gone, who has suffered a pandemic. The last time was 1905 or something. Who was alive then? You can't say, you can't dismiss it. And just as you are recovering from it, the war, why not? It's a conversation. Why was it that Omo flag bearer Chatham House when he was talking about the economy, he didn't say that it was BOG governor that had misrepresented Ghana or mismanaged the economy. He talked about the effects of COVID-19 and the Russian-Ukraine war. And see, how is it that only Ghana, he positions himself differently because Hono, it's not an emotional argument, it's an intellectual debate. So Hono, you clearly understand rules. But over Ghana, You think that people are small-minded, so you can say anything and muddy the waters. And this is what they are riding on. Into Beka said, Governor, no. Sebi, he didn't come out and what's not. It's your opinion. Maybe you wanted that PR or 15 seconds of fame with him. That's fine. But on also, Mr. Reno, you can't invalidate people's concerns. As silly as they may be, as ridiculous as they may be, as unimportant as it may seem to you and to whoever, in addressing them, just give them that, it doesn't pollute the airways. It doesn't give room. Because now what they've seen is that people are interrogating the issues. And someone will cannot. It shouldn't go. If you ask for the governor to resign, he didn't appoint himself. Why should he resign? And the person advocating for it, now you're board member 2014. Bloomberg report, we had the worst currency ever in 2014. We recorded that as well. One resigning, you were on the board. Subsequently, you were a deputy finance minister. So you know the conversation surrounding it. One resigning on principle, yet in a demonstration, which the Mabeka say, Nipana or Tiano no onfa nijumantuho. When you know where you have to channel it to. So they've now positioned themselves to what the governor said, instead of now interrogating what they went to petition. Because Ghanaians are asking, and why it also tells you that the sentiment, especially the mobilization that went on ground. So who mobilization week on week, every night they were out meeting people. I was like, this is akin to, and I said, it's a presidential campaign be a national campaign. And I expected a huge crowd. It didn't come out that way. It could be that people couldn't understand the issues. Must say ya printing sika, okay. Bank of Ghana printing scanner. Yes, year on year they print money. They print money to replace old ones. Commercial banks can order money from their friends in Bank of Ghana. So then Pana Mokano. And of course, Bank of Ghana itself sent Obekai August year a detailed release, a statement. Obonibeka said chronological. She said from Niti Kosi Edidiso, a trem where we were. Highlighted the fact that we had a profit of 1.6 billion, I believe in 2017, 1.5, 1.4 in profit. Talked about, say, Omoring Fensi Sikano for building. I do not know what goes into a building. Mean see Abron sign that. That means see central bank that. Now mean call central bank who school like EDC. But of course, you know that there are security implications when it comes to building these things. So even Christ underground vaults be crying and what systems, then machines, mini be able to you and I can't quantify the cost of that. I would say that for all they said, they were complicit. But you feel that you reserve the right to insult when articulating your views. Yet when your actions are characterized, you take offense at it. I would say again, I don't like what he said. It can be misrepresented, it can be misunderstood, whatnot. But at the end of the day, you can't take away from what he's accomplished over the years. It will be huge. Yes, about 2017. Mark Kachin is there. Most say he did. He's not been transparent. He's mismanaged the economy. You know where the conversations about economy goes to. But most importantly, this is a man. My sister Wahi or say ni mates. Running almost central banks. UK. Didn't they record the worst loss since 1914? Didn't the US report him? If those are his peers and they are also recording once in a century, like issues are. Now, you can say, why you compare? Why won't we compare? Now, they compare why Togo and Sri Lanka. Bring it to Sri Lanka. If they had the buffers we had, it wouldn't have degenerated to what we saw. And yet we had people here, so Moka say, Sri Lanka level. They were showing it everywhere. It was because the lender of last resort, which is their central bank, into me in Kushinomo, our bank did just that. And so when we are advocating for things, I say, Obi, there's this desperation to see Ghana ebe bubu, like to get on their knees beyond repair. There's this desperation to let the worst happen. There's this way to amplify the challenges. No matter what, you all go to the pump. fuller. It doesn't discriminate who is MPP or NDC. We are all feeling it. Government articulates our concerns and say, look, COVID impacts, no, whether you like it or not, there's a recovery program. We are going through it. It takes patience, it takes some commitment, and it takes some faith in believing that we'll get out of it. It is not in anybody's interest to want to see us go through these challenges. Never. I don't see it becoming a thing as if government wants to take advantage of it or is happy about what is going on. It's not. But you have to realize the times we are in. And yes, there's this thing whereby, oh, you're demonstrating. It's just like every month and every week, an agenda be or so. It gets to a time, and I see it now. People are seeing through it. People are seeing right through it. Say, are they okay? Like, it's not making sense. But yes, you reserve the right to demonstrate. It's fine. But who can't say who be demonstrating now with Didi Watema? Also, I think so. As you are pointing here, because look at the rest of your fingers. I'll leave it there.
I'll come back to you because Utiena Wadrin try 0548 443 523. That's our WhatsApp line 0548 443 523. I'll come back and read most of your messages. But Mamintie Nana ya Jantwa Inyu Nafe Memra Mekaimo messages no 0548 443 523. Nana Yampacho my inti.
Oh, we saw a lawyer.
Akakakra.
But on all process.
Our law school.
Oh, process.
Our Makola earthquake in Babeto. Bank of Ghana for an age and age out.
Oh, process. No, COVID time, you have to be into prison.
We call it.
Good. COVID time, your whole system they collapse. Ghana system be a collapse.
I don't think so.
Good. So, obi be any legal COVID time because of COVID, you know. As long as in COVID time, you do be too. As long as in COVID time, we'll be born and we'll be airborne. If somebody went wrong during the COVID period, as I see it, make a once. What did they make? Na, won't mean because of COVID, you know. Yenye ubianye de ope. Then it means to say our state will fail. Your friend is saying, the Lord minyan kind, but make kind. But sending name in cannot say the governor, Mr. Finance Minister,
and a controller,
bit me
decided, and then they inform Parliament
on what. There are so many things that corporate Ghana. It decide what can they decide on? Emranisi Tresika 5%.
No, decide on the new limits and then inform Parliament.
It is there specifically. Did they inform Parliament?
That is the contention.
That is the point. Did they? If you see, there's no way our person will boom raso. I want your amendment to the law. I'll bet me decided. I want for Parliament in mem. And we a lawyer. We are on the way to become a lawyer. Semraka say as I say a far writer. Right as I say offer. So who feels a right on the way to na person offer left her. As I say beat me ma okwanya with the best.
Exactly.
I like that is the contention. You bu emre so COVID-19 mm. Yes, it's an argument. The exchange say obi ebu emra so. The reason why obu emra e die bentin na nipa kron de bekwa akosia Parliament onko kanche omo say situation na yigina mu sei no. As I said, me sika ne become beyond the remit.
But what kind of Bank of Ghana statement now? Almost say Mrane said in informing Parliament, they have to do that through the Finance Ministry. And as far as they are concerned, they did it.
So, but you see, the fact they say in Finance Ministry, catch a Parliament. You see, Parliament.
Did they go for approval from Parliament?
But that's exactly what I said.
Parliament. No, the question is yes or no.
But the point is, Bank of Ghana, in their statement, it says they informed the Finance Ministry for the Finance Ministry to inform.
So
Parliament.
did they wait for the Finance Ministry to give them a feedback? Did they wait?
Because Parliament,
which emergency?
Parliament, no evidence or your hands at. And then they
absolutely.
Bibi biara a cost of Parliament, no, ye throw hands at no. It is a Finance Ministry Ekoko can say under the circumstances, no. Baby, I jina say A, B, C, D. What was the emergency? COVID enya $3 billion. the emergency being built in here say SSA ye koko print sika ebuso. What was the emergency? Yeah, we COVID him. The state was stagnant. Obi nko obi ma business ayesam into the emergency pan in here. Yes, so COVID na ankai said they can America. Ankai said they can other countries. So COVID ankai. Sika ye nya no. To be very honest, and ki ehwe so ye kwe bi anki nya IMF. Like we might not even need that. Let's be very realistic. Yeah, careful, because you see an issue of accountability need prudence. Missing. As I see it, me my government here accountable. Not one government, every government, because you can't hear deal. Obi says here ya because obi anhwe ne masu yes Russia Ukraine nankasa war mu na ne bridge abubu ni ade inflation yes 15%. Ono an the bridge abubu ne niema enkoye inflation yes there is over 40%. Otimasio yes so yes oh food inflation grapes ni ade grapes ye de pepe de okroma ene cry wo tangerine na e foreign no can you imagine? So who is not doing their way? Tangerine ye yesuso nya tangerine ye dua ne Ghana ye diga ene kwa ye ma foreign tangerine ni akiro eyi into ote de mention into no when Emma said ne ba ye was system a e betime decide say ye cut down importation me kai a minister names in the 2022 budget finance or see on baba import substitution committee that would ensure say niema ye importable chrome hand eswati Ekosiisen
It was Empire FM.
It was Empire FM. 2023 near when we year end of 2020 next year you see election. I feel no more baba implement committee recommendations and answer day. We need to be very serious about some of the things that we do. And we need to also all the divides. See people for be a young person is in Nipakasa. What make us be a hooligan? No, Obi a walk school or Juma. The facts of their politics in Cheso Ekushinu. One quite one can a hooligan way to trafo. Obi a one more brebion and nam hocken Odin. Zekas will be a hooligan, and no. Odin Zen who was Soriano Pano, Bono, Namo, Casako, or Young Crofo. Yes, a hooligan on just a quarter. Oh, quarter, the Soriano Pobano or Young Crofo.
Like how the honorable Papa did.
Obi me a hooligan. I didn't say also be sorry. No, young Casancasa. But we are counting the days. Nana hooligan, ye, my details. No, you will say, Papa, ye, young Casancasana.
William Hooligan, Koshini complete.
Good.
Nata de kratete ana so bi o ye consent ni o no mo nsa beba na o de da fo
be no de no nye hooligan
we hooligan that hooligan is o kan obi o di nsamfo o sori o nye obi anu o bro no area yi oh I say hooliganism
na ya da
afa be person mi su sana oba ni patch na sana oba ni patch say yetie
ana so waka che musi wo na mo ka mo dwama no
o mo demonstrate to say
no, but you can't see a dear normal year or maybe Papa could be called for dear honorable
because also video shows will be the chair and say, hey, honorable issue.
And so very if one person insulted him, come and insult them. No, you are justifying that.
You set the principle. It was set the principle now. You
must not come and insult everybody.
No, it's okay. I think you both have made your point. Mama Yenti and I are Jantra. Me pamucho. General Secretary of the CPP, me pacho yetio.
Unimande.
Yes.
Jesus. They say no MPP man look like say demonstration ya die bia o ya asif say we free hell number. But one more time one wa bem wo ba bia na nado be ye na nado e de kume preku. Na nado be ye na nado PMFG Ashanti region be bia o demonstrate. Inti no me anything wrong with demonstration. Demonstration ne kura be boa ma se situation na yebo mu ye nyi obi nkonko fet you because we are wakoma eden atọ ye governor or petition na because for me that petition will end up in his drawer Enfa ne be ko.
Ene omo de be kwa akoma no.
Now the man on be yi ne ho edi so onko. Utimi ka che obi say resign. Obi ono oji 80,000 Ghana cedis this difficult Ghana also on resign, obi resign. Me, I always say co-presidency and not be a higher authority. And as a process is be or necessary a firm with omudi na fine. But that is there with demonstration. A year for both and penny phone na omen collaying na bafra. It was just nice. Obi minima the country MPP for slow demonstration. And not quite the obesity in your mind, ye cool beba. Demonstration the coup and no cry repairly cool. Because Ocean Crawford no man demonstrate and no could be before Fraba. I don't see what me time I'm more as the AFAG Dennis OPK Usim why accountability forum demonstration the last time me share ya ban and busan sent years they say there will demonstration tools no ayera no a deputy saying secretary 18 unions they be no mushia no me demonstration total tariff man them. I'm telling you to the extent that there are times so crampa not a year friend is saying Bevulo Lati, or Canal, Lieutenant Canal Bevulo, almost the armor tanks. Ever be CPUs, me say na minti mimpi.
Our academ.
Yes, academ. Me my life was so miserable. No academ. Me kwa bontin grandpa. They say you the police detail di mechi. Osemase, all these things have gone on, but the country managed it. It is the same for 4 year demonstration. Let it be. Omo ye obi bone me krampo e nwa say demonstration omo krampo no demonstrations are here said no so if you can tabulate the number of demonstrations and insults abetwam kwa MPP for ade ba ko so muja
equalization ben
obi ene na womu ye ni sei ene na we ye chairman ene na womu chiro ni sei ene womu ti no womu ye ni sei yeso ye ni the same e dey benti na to abeti a womu ti na womu anye ni ye ni womu ai na womu andoti ni ye ni ese monko na mo amosi mu ni madwuma na ye mo meye so why do you go back and refer womu ti mi kwa akokwa me nkroma so Then Kwame Nkrumah cry channel. Kwame Nkrumah cry CC schools channel. Kwame Nkrumah cry factories channel.
That's a comparison of records in your bad.
Comparison of records for your more you must say you concentrate and do it. Obi no na dwumete wo me records because you see enokuta sikebia you can plan, you can budget. Say no ne hia wo. You know the song I was singing?
Enra
na when I go home for some reason I was singing we shall overcome.
Hey.
We shall overcome someday. Deep in our hearts we do believe that we shall overcome someday.
If you're not then you will overcome no.
You be overcome the hardship way. You become a com because she obi say wo ko shop wie. Now the sika no to sometimes so dwene ho say na mi sika na ekosi hwe obi. Mi sister ma mi sika bi. Sika no de ma me na 55 cedis. Na mi sheda na me de to ho na me say ade de medi ni kakrakra. Obi mani tie na aka 50 cedis. I'm telling you. And yesterday just hit me. Meniti petrol aduane
ajisika ni nyinara obi to think say me a single parent, so immediately I put myself into the shoes of a single parent whose children are younger. And I feel awrohoje into a one me kokohwehwe anyom no na me share the march of Martin Luther King. Wow.
And I'm thinking for come march no man nyini. Ultimately, Martin Luther King demonstrated and sang this song because at that time, the kind of situation that the Americans were, the black Americans, it is akin to what is happening today. It's as if nobody cares. It's as if nobody cares. Look, and Adeba create one of your sister stations, a can who sem say was you to me called dialysis. Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Obi, I felt at this morning I felt so immediately and young have by and I was singing it in my head as I sat on your sister station. I said we shall overcome one day. Into ye sad day we me say na me hwehwe ne say me ni bi kura nka me kwa koma ne kakra. The me ti ya ne say oko. So panyimo bi anhwe. We don't have a system where our own will be looked after. So they just become vulnerable. As if we say, oh. So deep in my heart, I mean, this morning, I said, I do believe that we shall overcome.
In Jesus'
because you see, Kwame Nkrumah national anthem, so could see a national anthem, was it we should resist the rule of the oppressor. To resist the rule of the oppressor is also about demonstrating. To resist the rule of the oppressor is what is going on. When Kwame Nkrumah time, the rule of the oppressor was the colonialist. But today, the rule of the oppressor is the kind of poverty we are going through. The kind of pain we are going through. The kind of sika eshe. We are near a excuse. I want a day that the new patriotic party government will come and say we are sorry. That we didn't get it right. That we are not going to argue about it, but we need everybody to help. I want to see that day. I want that day to come. When they will come and say that we got it wrong. That stop giving excuses. COVID. You see, if today this country has not recovered from COVID, then it means that we have a government that doesn't know what day it is. They don't know what time it is. Because some countries have recovered.
Really?
Yes. At the US, some are recovered.
US of A?
Yes, it is not as bad as... Yes, with time.
They have recovered.
Share Obi.
Obi, man, they have recovered.
Obi come market. You see, US, Obi or how we juma. Or at least Accra would be the Ubenya baby. Yeah. Obi take a tour of Accra. We shall overcome one day.
In Jesus' name.
Yes, because take a tour of Accra, and when it is raining, you find a my young. Omukutomo niemana a circle ekuta womusi. Take a tour of East Legon and see the young women who are prostitutes. Nobody cares. Take a tour of Dankwa Circle. Young women who are prostitutes. Why are they prostitutes? Who is making sure that they are not on the streets? Who? These are and they come for the almost boxer shorts.
Boxer shorts.
Yes. Who? Obi, we shall overcome. You see, deep in my heart, I do believe that 2024, by some design,
this country shall overcome.
This country and Ghana will sing a new song. Because this is not what we bargained for.
General Secretary of the CPP. My main kind messages kakra na fe mensan emra mo ho Ekosiisen so ni. Meba just utie na o adwentra. You know the WhatsApp number 0548 443 523 0548 443 523. In studio Nanaya Jantwa Nana Ekia Avle Kozi Akosia Menu. We say Obi, can you please help our beautiful mothers to sing the song? Because I know you have a good Pentecostal voice. Indeed, we shall overcome this corrupt administration calling us hooligans. God save Ghana, never again to the NPP. Citizen Dexmont Theory Ewo Bubuashi. This one says that Obi Kozi for Adenta is a solid brand. She is an intelligent, affable, and dedicated person. Even though I am a Butterfant now. There's a movement for change kakra no say MPP kakra or a Butterfant now. Kozi for Adenta is community labor for all. Kwame Jude Eddie we have a Kwame Jude, thank you. We say Obi, when are you bringing Honorable Yusuf Jaja, MP Fayawaso North, to your studio? Please ask him about his project and what he's done since he came to power. Our lovely MP doesn't like going for interviews. Jamil from Accra, Newtown. Jamil, thank you. Obi, yes, we shall overcome. God bless Madam Jantwa Erase. Great submission by the Adenta MP hopeful. Maturity at work. Eze Prince Ewoni Boy Town. This one says, good evening, Obi. Happy Teachers Day to all amazing teachers out there. Any Teachers Day? Wow. Yeah, one minute video. So special mention to my mathematics teacher then, Sir Godfred Bonsu, now the NDC chairman for Kade constituency. To all teachers I say Ayiko enam raba and udiwe brain. Yada say Obi, please. The demonstration was politically motivated. Bam. Yeah, that's it. One fa udin anka. But this one says, Obi, good evening. Please, when Nkrumah was ruling Ghana, could people demonstrate who born dog? Yes. Wouldn't you be in detention? Alexander Ewo Ashaiman. There or no diaba enono. Good evening, Obi. I'm watching you live from the Kwesimintim constituency. It is not surprising to know that people who couldn't give this country common light and collapsed the banking sector are the ones demonstrating against a competent governor of the Bank of Ghana. Anyway, my regards to Mrs. Yapukua Baden, incoming MP Kwesimintim constituency, Yao Marvin wo Kwesimintim in Sekendi Takrade. Let me see this one. This one says, okay, Lamprekin Rashid. Thank you. Let's deal with the issues. Where's Obi? It's funny how all of a sudden hooligan has overtaken what Susu said. Ghana, a funny country. Jeff Ewo Tema and Odiwe Abba. And Jeff again says, Obi, the problems Nanaya Jantwa is listing have been in existence since Adam. Okay. Obi, good evening. Always happy to listen to your highly esteemed program. Nanaya Jantwa is hoping to regain an appointment under an NDC government, blah, blah, blah. Also, Nanado's demonstration at that time was when we were under a tyranny and not when you can channel your grievances as parliamentarians through the rightful means. Was Nanaya Jantwa in Ghana when doom saw and unemployment was the order of the day? They are underrating the impact of COVID-19 pandemic because none of their family members died and how even the West are crumbling economically. Wonders shall never end. Nana Ajare Kodie Ewo Belgium and the way are praying. Let me see what we have here. Obi, good afternoon. It's Nana Ya Janto of PURC. Is he the one who was increasing tariff without when we had no light? Charles in Koforidia. Charles, Nana Ya Janto. Oh, Charlie. I say, we say, hi, Obi.
Things were not as hard as
when she was PRO of PURC, they kept on increasing tariffs every quarter. Amis Dumso, she has the guts to sit here and talk like this. Luckily for her, okay, also she is currently in the studio of Asempa FM without the noise of a generator. I bet you former President Mahama will not come to power. Okay, Umar Ewo Accra. Umar, thank you. We say, Obi, accepted BOG informed the finance minister. Did it just end for them to carry out their action or to also find out if the minister had informed parliament or not? The governor's response is not necessary since he has not received the petition. Silence is maturity. Bo ewo kwashiman edia odiaba and thank you. We say Obi on 21st September Nanaya enjoyed the Nkrumah Memorial Park very well by taking his CPP members there for a press conference and in addition took selfies. Nanaya,
did you see me take a selfie? When we went, we just went to the mosque inside.
Stanley, yeah, that's it. Say also the way, Abba. Let me read a few ones and then I'll come near any other business. We say, Obi, you allow Nanaya too much room to make wild allegations without evidence. And, okay, I don't know which allegation you're talking about, but I'll say, Obi, let Nanaya also comment on the insult from Sam George and Susu and also Ato Force. And one for Udin and Kahon. But I'll be happy if you tell us the allegation. Kahon Asem. Okay, let me see. We say, Obi, do politicians learn at all? Ukraine received support from other countries and that's why they are not in trouble today. Obi, good afternoon. The government is promoting TVET. My son has finished NVTI in general electrician, but Accra Technical University said they don't enroll people from technical schools unless he is 25 years before he can come to their matured classes. Why? Please, can you find out from ATU, which is Accra Technical University, or the Education Ministry, the way forward for children from technical schools. JJ Ewa North Kanishi. JJ, I think it's an important issue. We'll follow up on this one for you. Whereas Obi, I think the NPP communicator is making a good submission to us Ghanaians on the BOG matter. Good work, Akwesi Achampong, all the way from the United Kingdom. Anyway, Abba. Dear Obi, I'm very sad listening to the NDC lady. She seemed to be too blah blah blah. She shouldn't also okay into Sita or Hamburg in Germany. Let's stick to the issues, me pamucho. Ekosiisen na high asempa 94.7 FM. Loads and loads of your messages. Let me do any other business. The last win me shall see with Nanekia. In the cozy me shall see ewo. Yeah, now so will be briefly.
Section 67 of the Bank of Ghana Act. It says that you commit a crime offense when you go against any act of the Bank of Ghana.
Sure.
So what we are saying, say the Bank of Ghana has committed an offense. One more Bank of Ghana Act, I say a guide you. One more in so. That is number one. Number two, yes, say Bank of Ghana no one recorded negative equity of 55.1. And on nature says you one more liability. If you one more assets ni more. One more boka manakoye negative. Obi, these are serious matters, and I will plead with Ghanaians and say they should follow the conversation. Now, what ube follow conversation ni ye no Obi ube who say asema ye kano ne kwan swa no. The expenditures that BOG say one year no, it is ridiculous, extremely ridiculous. Can you imagine? Almost the 131.6 million cedis are a motor vehicle maintenance. Obi, we are talking about the taxpayer sikao. Ye come up until esia okotine ria so fitianopa ebesi enumre sikaka cross obenya 100 cedis or to bibia tax da so. That is the money we are talking about. We are talking about the Ghanaians and their taxes. And I hear catch say mismanagement na BOG ayeno and to assume it is an offense. They have not been truthful. So instead of say ye be ho ade no say ye politics and I say ye NDC for asem, that shouldn't be the case, because and ye NDC for kwani to your tax. And besides, Ghanaians don't pay taxes to the NDC for now. We are paying taxes to the NPP. So whatever they do with our taxes is very, very much important. Obi, what you say? And see, I don't want people to listen and think, say, we're your NDC for us. When we were demonstrating, there were people that do not belong to the NDC that were there. NPP were there. Neutrals who have not even yet decided on what political affiliation they belong to were there. So it is about a matter of discussion that concerns the general public. But then we have taken the lead to bring it out for everybody to understand. Obi, Mamin Rapia, have you seen the things Nanaya is saying? Obi, this country, a year ago. And when they compare us to the foreign countries now, it breaks my heart. Because foreign countries now, one must say, one more equal losses in the banks now. Obi, let's compare the basics. Foreign country being in the US, we go US and we say Obi so trunk any chop box. And all Twande was street. Ako school, asaba. Obi, mami, what go US?
Yes.
Ako UK, ako who say, and the dialysis machine, ko 700 and something. Obi wako US and now UK. Akwako who send for da femda ewo hospitals. Obi what would be da. It doesn't happen in the foreign countries. So when you are comparing banks, compare the basics as well. This is what we are saying, that this MPP that came to promise heaven on earth, no, they have failed. They have not been able to even achieve an iota of anything they want to catch Ghanaians. That is what we are driving at. This is not about MPP and Pekasa, and I say MPP and Pekasa. I was driving on the streets. I saw a mad woman with a baby on her back. Obi, I had to park. Me park here. My me go. Me should share social services, and I have what can I say?
Gender ministry.
Me should share
social welfare.
Social welfare. Me should share contact afre me nya number bia me freye enko. I had to follow this mad woman with a baby. Me did it me kakran so to just get the number. Obi me nya number no. Eventually I have to leave and go because I was so helpless. Me who send ya mesifa me who send ya mesifa bra situation no. My in the UK na me jina na me who sa I have to just call the council. Me number bi obefre. O ma be ji akola no. Sesia. This is what the MPP government that came to power made us understand. Say one more bano, one more ba ye Ghana krabeshe, one more bano e bre na one claim say Ghana for ye bre. And yes, Abio. And I keep saying, in 2016, CD was 4 CDs, 50 pesos. 2016, everything was right. Obi, me and Ken Jamenu, I paid dollars for my kids. When in 2016, I didn't know anybody. I was working and paying my money for my children's school fees. As I sit here, every day, one more rate, school fees bills, no so so obi betine chaka say wo na ato nti na only one makosa school no. But then I was working within my means because I could afford. Now that the MPP government has come to mismanage this economy, I can no longer afford. And you know the painful part, once your kids are not in the mainstream no, Cambridge curriculum no, Obi want to me ma almost say MPP for us say amamo nti me for Wesley girls. It doesn't happen like that because it's a system. They have to be assigned to the system. Okay. So once I am locked up with my kids in the Cambridge, when I was paying, I was okay. But in Yama Yebasamin to me to I still have to do what? Continue. Yeah. This is painful and this is sad. But what I'm trying to say is that MPP government, no, Obi,
yes,
Mr. Bawumia, and anybody, yes, you're economic risk kid.
Yeah, economic risk kid.
Yes, economic wizard. Yes, Papa will call Mr. Bawumiano. Just say only mama. Obe to me buamamoi ama chese ye dollar no obe arrested no police head office. Yes. And the dollar no nenam he and the dollar no onamakola na wakofa asiama na wakofa tema dollar na nanti sa wabre. See just say this man actually was brought to come and just deceive the ordinary Ghanaians into voting for them. Okay. They have failed the ordinary Ghanaian. Someone who accept to say, "Yena ye ka say ye beye, but ya banu ye ntumi anye, but won for ye born in chain. Na ye be sure say ye beye." They are not doing no such. They are rather governing us and rather insulting our intelligence and rather suppressing and calling us all sorts of names. Enye nice. Obi enye nice.
Me da say. Ekosiisen so ni kozi bebem ansa no we say Obi the likes of Nanaya and Equia are expressing. Okay, those words are harsh. So say Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta in February 2023 informed Parliament of the BOG support when he addressed the House on the DDEP. Let me quote him in paragraph 51. Quote, Mr. Speaker, under these circumstances, it was necessary for the government to seek financing from the Bank of Ghana to augment its fiscal operations for the year. The Bank of Ghana last week concluded work on its financial accounts for 2022 and reports that the total overdraft extended to government for 2022 was 37.956.82 million Ghana cedis. Mr. Speaker, in line with Section 36 of the Bank of Ghana Act 2002, Act 612, we are using this platform to inform the legislature of the financing of the budget by the Bank of Ghana, the domestic debt exchange exercise, and the external debt restructuring program will make such financing unnecessary going forward in 2023 and beyond, unquote. In way free Ayimedu the Duke and on the way Abrahimedu, thank you. This one says, Nanaya Jantwa should spare us the drama. Did prostitution start under Akufo-Addo. Also, this is not even funny. Thanks to Cozy for dismantling the naked propaganda. No, I'm coming. Oh, no, I'm coming. You have the way to respond. Don't worry. Right. I'll say, isn't it interesting that those who describe the retired wing commander lawyer as a mere watchman are crying because they have been described as hooligans? Obama said, and on the way. Remember, I'll cry more. What responded? Right, and don't worry. We say, Obi. Parliamentarians have themselves removed the respectable accolade that we accord them as honorables the moment they exchange fisticuffs in Parliament. Regards to my younger sister, Nana Ya Jantua. Nana, I know I'm here. And I know the way I'm brain. Nana, I know I'm here. Good evening to you wherever you are. Ekosiisen on the higher Sempa 94.7 FM. Nana, your reaction here quickly now.
No. When you share, we should put it in context.
Will respond to text message.
San American Obiba or see baba besisa the status quo.
Yes.
What mean can't say prostitution any ho before. Nina is a package. Near map or MPP focus on basis obia ebo mechidom. Meaning some crofobia when this momotoma nanado.
Okay.
Because of some more kind. Into when to me and ya won't now on won't cast any prostitution free tete. A juma or home prostitution.
Okay.
You need to target these girls and make sure say woman in meaningful employment. What did they make? Obi, instead what the money we now about
yes. Cozy, me patrol me into you.
I am what you must say. You have to say.
Nana, me we are not about right now. Cozy,
yeah.
My break.
Don't worry.
Okay. A Bank of Ghana Act no, or say. There's a breach of the law and states that when that law is breached, no,
consequences.
Yes, there are consequences, but she failed to say which law had been breached. Now, Bank of Ghana, in their response, I've said it over and over again, even here. August no Moko Ridi when they released that statement. Section 30 of the BOG Act, with emphasis on subsection 6, states clearly that in the event of any emergency, the governor, the minister and the controller and accountant general shall meet to decide the limit of borrowing that should be made by government, and the minister shall submit a report on the issue to Parliament within 7 sitting days. There are ways for you to advocate for the truth if you feel say something is hidden. It's not for you to put people together. Moon train share na one MP and chen in Sanche and did you be at him. Now I catch and say no mum okay is normal. Have you heard any of them condemn it? In tisa description na yeka hooliganism no. Per what Nanaya said. That describes it, doesn't it? Say something goes viral, it gives you a certain perception of what is happening. It could be false, but at least and now who Abeka say, hey, now more demonstration. Your member of parliament, who is even supposed to be some sort of youth icon or NDC mono. This is what they are all kenny. There's nothing right about it. Never area ya beto nyumo ha alternate soprano. Alternating the voices.
Constitutional tyranny is what you are practicing.
Please, saying that we have no business making a comparison. Now US no, Sebi, they recovered from friends and COVID. Obi, US printed money to support their economy in the form of stimulus packages. Emma, please, if you are okay citing say US, you cited US and compared. Now I'm giving you the facts on US no.
Oh, please.
That's not how it should be. Their currency is not doing well. GDP.
Please let me finish. You cannot insult me.
I'm not having insulted you.
Please,
if I say I throw water on you, I'm saying that you are reacting unduly because even though I didn't want to.
I didn't expect. I didn't want you to listen. I didn't sing it.
I had no choice but.
Relax.
I didn't say your voices were nice. The whole of Ghana has endured the singing.
So you just thought you are enjoying the hardship. Just that we are enjoying
everybody would have an opportunity. Cozy, proceed.
Impression.
Because maybe we need the
impression compared to your friends in a country saying that we have no business compared to that country because that country, Sebi or more are recover. They haven't recovered till even today. Conversation on US and food prices. Obi say a country's GDP a 2.2. Normal inflation cry is 0.1% is significant. And that's what the US is going through. Yenka say Sebi, we are some amazing we are in an amazing situation, and I say recover. We haven't. And clearly we are taking that step. In 2% who create impression make sure say impression now we creating at least you are backing it with some facts. Yeah, but your friend saying you know one of the things that I'm happy about and Oko Boy spoke to it, and I feel say waka only need come every now and then on the NHI, right?
Yeah.
About 95% of ailments, some of the ailments, I'll give you an example. When people are listening to us, when we dismiss certain things, there are people who listen who feel as if they're politicians. We don't think about the average person. There are people who depend on the policy.
Which policy?
Look, when it comes to healthcare,
Obi, which policy? I lost that.
Can I please?
No, I'm asking you a question.
I didn't interrupt when you were singing.
No, I didn't hear what you said.
I was singing.
It's a Ghana 40 year, Pacho. Don't disrupt. Because I endured the singing and the misrepresentation.
What representation?
About a childhood cancer, for instance. Childhood cancer, BBI, is not going to be in cancer. Government in creating childhood cancer. Sometimes it's hereditary. Sometimes it's lifestyle. Sometimes it's exposure to something that we are unaware of, but it happens. There was a time when you say when the treatment starts. Sometimes treatment may be at 3 weeks. Then they take a break and they come back. There was no bed, right? One of the first commitments, friends and first lady was to build a hostel for the childhood cancer center. 1 year and then advocate say childhood cancer is here day and Becca your friend saying
NHI.
That is a blatant lie.
No. Note it. If you have a way out, just note it. Hold on. Good. Let her finish. Just note it. You would have an opportunity. You have an opportunity to react. You would have an opportunity. Hold on. Nana.
What you marry? Yes. You knew children were dying, but instead of advocating for them, you were singing.
Don't come and say under any LHIS. Don't come and
proceed.
My point is, even when it comes to mental health issues, there's now advocacy said, for mental health, we should prioritize it. Why? Especially after COVID. It's highlighted so many challenges that before we didn't particularly take notice of. But a pandemic creates certain after effects that almost seems negligible, but over time, it compounds and creates problems. In Sema Yeke, most of the things that we talk about is not that there aren't solutions to it. The solutions are sometimes impeded by the lack of financing. Why not? After all, NHI, when did it start? Who introduced it? Most of the policies that we are talking about today, the policies are not working on anything. Who introduced those policies? We quote a law and run away from the law that is breached. The substantive issue till date on a friend saying a governor a breach here. I don't want us to always sit here and be shouting. Sometimes, anyway. But I mean, this is my first. I know you've been asking me to come here for a while, but this is my first appearance on here. But it becomes important that when we sit here and we say certain things, especially when we lay down the principle, you make sure say, do you understand what I'm saying? Say you are not complicit in it. So you don't come and tell us, say, you don't compare a certain country. And come and tell us that country is doing better than us. Now we are better than us. Now what are you doing? Are you clapping for them? You are comparing essentially. Now Ghana beko enima. Why don't we compare to certain nations that we want to? Now you compare and Ghana na mukache and say interchange na moisine your friend in Dubai. What were you comparing it to? At that time, what were you comparing it to?
Mate.
Let me bring it down to, I think there was something you mentioned that maybe I missed it. There was something in a text that you wanted
in the text messages.
I may be wrong.
Okay, then maybe I'll get it later, and then so where we are, maybe I'll come back to you and then you wrap up. Okay. No, when we finish, it will be 1 minute and we wrap up. But I just have your second any other business.
No, I'm saying, second other business. Listen, people talk about doom, so as if today there's no doom. So last week Monday, do you get me? I got home from prayer meeting. And immediately I stepped around my area. Because of my experience, I noticed that a vast area is
wide.
Yes. Is that not Doomso? And I called, and I was in the sector, and I sent certain text messages to certain people in this country. And I asked that, are we back? Do you get me? You cannot tell me, say, and Doomso everywhere. You are talking about high tariffs. Should I calculate the tariffs that we are paying today? And as I see a doom so me generator, my neighbor every time the generator papa. What are they talking about? High tariffs? I don't want to go there because my Juma, I don't even want to go there. You cannot use high tariffs today compared to the tariffs we are paying then. And now crampon you see the hydro component of the generation mix. I think a tariffs in the form. We are still paying higher tariffs. What are they talking about? Look, Obi, the meme can say, they be a made President Kufuor, by example. After the revolution, we went through something, and everybody thought that we needed some freedoms. And when President Kufuor became president, he did something. He behaved like a father, and you could feel, say, as if see our papa will chrome her. See it, oye bibi mpone si ye complain ya otimika so oye sorry. Otima say, oye bibi mpone ye complain ya ne ministers me ka ye ka se ministers ne dozo ye de do say no onim e kati ade no immediately okoho no hu situation no nti opacho. Otima say, there was somebody who went to insult him at a public hearing. Ayem this asemfofo somebody menkaidi no.
Dr. Asemfofo. Dr.
Asemfofo. Ultimately, were even preventing him from go. Later on, they were even like friends. And necessarily, Bibia Banessa what can say ya? Yes, see, ye dear Timnishiao. Ultimately, but Ghana, ye Ghana. Ye Ghana. What kind of law? Or say the finance minister will inform Parliament 7 days after the decision has been taken. The finance minister inform Parliament. So I'm about 7 days now.
7 sitting days.
Yes. Sitting days, yes, 7 days. When Parliament is in session, 7 days. When Parliament is in session, 7 sitting days.
But as to whether or inform me, it's a matter of public record.
That's what I'm saying. Say, oh man, young question. Parliament for non form hands at name may prove which say and answer say. What's my share? Obi say Obi.
So the parliamentarians before they took to
Obi.
No, also they come and tell us no MPs no mudi edim no money.
And I make a matter of public record.
Position.
No, now the MPs claim said they were not informed.
Yes,
that's the contention.
That is the point. She Obi, we are see away. Me ma me be che me bibi. Was say bodem ni ana obi ba bedi di watem na wo hwe ni age mpo a edu ba bi eso kwa no. To me, as general secretary, people insult me and I'm quiet. Not because me ntimi nkan bi o. What am I say? Because me wo position bi mu a ese say akonwa no me respecting. It is obi aba be kan bibi kra mpo a do you have to reply in that manner? No. I didn't think nkofo ne de no mbe kan no. Anye news and ono ne de na discuss. Because you penny more very honorable. Me can say no pay. Say me cramp on me one was how worse if in a new by because he doesn't look the governor does not look like somebody like that. Okasa boko. It's dear ben a man can't do kind. What am I say?
MP no video no. So what chim?
I am saying say MP video shouldn't infuriate you.
Sir.
Why should it infuriate you?
Oh, sir.
Because at a certain level, we are governor of the bank. At a certain level, near maybe what needs to infuriate you. Because I don't know true stamina. and in the show say we a leader.
I agree.
Ultimately, you don't have to reply. Yeah, no, now. Why are we discussing what he said? But you see, Obi, what I am trying to say, and say, Obi bae or say, in confront Tony Ma or Kwemu Bimba be president. You be take power. Obi en ho benam Kwemu or betoma debut. Obi, do you know how dangerous it is for these women and children to be passing in front of cars? The patrol use the free hair to your friend is N1 so 37. It is all over the place. And for Obia, I thought to Crampo say, I buy the place you can see small shops. I'm a may, my patrol come macola. And my Jina to force. She may no muddin come home, say, Mamma, ye need Obia, baby, Obi, single parents. Anybody and no babet me a cast and near me ding. No, only what the person doesn't know what he or she is talking about. She Obi America na ye can. See, cause America, oh, what do be di ubenya kakra ubenya juma aye. Edibentina she unkolani nyine etu kwan. Obi go to the embassies is like slave trade revisited. Young women and men are leaving the country. Professionals are running away. The bend done ye bit me a casse and neddy, Obianco, yin yet say crona ye fe. Obia brochene do who compare woman. They have no raw natural resource. Omuni gold, omuni bauxite, or dear no more. Ye dear no more betchin no more de conomaka, omuni cocoa. And so ye dear no betchin no more de econom de yomu chromu ye. I didn't know ye dear no kuta and me find ye chromu ye near hontoying. Obi, I'm asking you, and no car. You see, we change your go so. Obi, not to button. What you say?
The finance minister informed Parliament in February 2020.
You will have a final. No. You have a final.
We are talking about duration. Mbrani say mrano, or 7 sitting days, or inform almost 7 sitting days after the fact. Any information, keke. Did he inform the after 7 sitting days, I did way by and I did back mechanics. I don't know for petition, no come finance minister. Because the man works under certain instructions.
Almost they will do one occupy finance ministry. And no be finance ministry.
Fine, but I am saying so on you be no crab beka. Say, one in a year we are as a so no financing
and the parliament.
Yes, parliament money. 7 sitting days. Was it 7 sitting days exactly after the fact? Obi ayami yase obi ntimi hu se Ghana for brene come dey. Me I'm not doing propaganda and answer politics. I am in it. Minimum conform.
But you're a politician.
This is what I'm saying, but I am not doing it because maybe in the way now me can. I'm not doing it because maybe me feel see about power. No. Me the truth is the truth. Obi the truth is the truth. To be also on TS any day. You're not any business because me person one day this government. The people who manage the president should carry the president to Makola.
Now, Uncle Bibi.
Should carry the president to the ministry, departments, and agencies. The president should go to Makola and see the women standing on the road. Because they decide which road the president himself should pick his driver one night. And now one day, not only said they were free Flagstaff House, Jubilee House, not on driving for crew. On the debt in town, on Kolanketing, Kitia Mujina Kwanwa, or Motomade. They should let him go. Nobody will do anything to be a. They should allow him to go and see what is going on. In this is the country that he's ruling. He needs to know what is going on. He needs to know how much your friend is saying, you turn a tuber of yam, you turn by here. He needs to know how much tomato is being sold.
Very well. Mama Nase, Anekia, in the moon, said 2 minutes, 2 minutes. Wrapping up.
Everyone was and you I am problematic.
Okay, very well.
Are you into your moha? Your friend is saying, Okoboy, Antonio Moha. That's not to be a
point. Ubenya 2 minutes now, and Anekia 2 minutes.
It will be tough, we know, and the road will be muddy and rough, but we'll get there. Heaven knows how we will get there. We know we will.
Yo.
Obi for you.
Obi, why you dear say what to nibi? Obi, let me say something.
Muddy and rough, but we'll get there.
You see, I said it on another platform that when His Excellency John Dramani Mahama was on the quiet doing his good works, the MPP were loudly lying all over the place. Unfortunately, no, their lies overshadowed the quiet good works of His Excellency former President John Dramani Mahama. And Ghanaians fell for their lies. But now, their lies will not overshadow the good works that the NDC has done in the past. We will not allow that. This afternoon, my sister has sat here and told us that the NHIS covers child cancer unit medications. That is a lie. And it's a serious lie.
I didn't hear.
Obi, who called child cancer unit? Obi will rebel. You will cry. Children are not getting the medications they need. If you think I am lying, open the phone line and tell Kolebu child cancer units for somebody to phone in. If they will be sincere and not afraid of anything, they will tell you. I went to donate at the child cancer unit, and I will show you evidence before Nico of. I will show you evidence of me standing in the child cancer unit donating. Obi and someone nurses they don't have any medications. And the parents of these children and they depend on donors. These children are dying. You can't come and sit here and lie to Ghanaians. Say your NHIS covers anything at the cancer unit.
In what you are saying is a ailment list NHIS effort, child cancer.
They are not implementing. Let me finish. The NHIS doesn't cover labs. You see,
okay.
I'm telling you, the NHIS today doesn't do anything. I went to argue at Ga East Municipal Assembly because my kids went to do the lab. And I did bill bring me 3 kids. One must say lab back on 350 multiplied by 3. Me see no way. The NHIS is supposed to cover some for me. Lab technician is say and cover. Me see I say cover or see and cover. Me see I say cover. It became argument. Eventually I had to pay for it. You see, I had to pay money for the labs. The NPP people will not come and deceive Ghanaians anymore. The era of deceit, the era of lies, the era of lying to Ghanaians that we have done A when they have not done any A, that era is past and gone. Ghanaians are discerning now. Ghanaians are listening now. Ghanaians are watching. And in 2024, the people of Ghana, the good people of Ghana, will decide. They will look. Presently, and this NPP people, they will not go on any platform and lie to Ghanaians anymore.
Okay. Mame nas na nekia avle any attending kind of 2 minutes where this kozi mepacho 2 minutes.
Okay. 2 minutes crop on your door, so I think I've said all that I have to say, but NHIS, if the childhood cancers, as stated on their own website and as a story online, is not true, they should phone in and tell us. But as far as I'm concerned, yeah, they can't. Also, a unit was built for them. I think it's at least 30 bed, so that kids that are undergoing treatment do not have to stop midway and go home and come back because their parents can't afford to, hire hotels or whatever. At the end of the day, I think the biggest lie, especially for someone championing the cause of Obi Ayataltino, Messiah Obabe Rescue Ghana, is the fact that when he leaves the shores of Ghana, Ofi Ghana, no call Amanonia, ne bizan and say, what are the challenges in Ghana? On site Bank of Ghana, no one site Kenofuriata, he will talk about the crippling effects of COVID-19 and Russian-Ukraine war. Rajo Mahama. Into when you are sitting here as an advocate telling us, say, we shouldn't peddle lies. It starts with you. Say issues, no, you can't dismiss them. Into your kotsna, Chatham House, near Bizano conditions are affected Ghana. No, wako dino crepe pepe or honoba Ghana, Niger, Wasasano. So let us start from there. Let us do right by Ghanaians. Doing right by Ghanaians, no, we can accept, say, there are challenges, and I can still accept, say, MPP is in a better position to take us out of the difficulties. To society, other countries, so make sure, say, you are aware of their challenges. Remember, now we are what to know. And thank you very much.
Maybe we'll continue to this. I'll call NHS maybe to clarify this whole debate around it. Maybe
Finance Minister 2023.
February
20.
Okay.
The fact that they're saying that he never went, no.
Okay.
Once it moved from Webrichi law, then they moved the debates from Enya law and Webrichi. Okay, did he notify Parliament?
And they also called Parliament.
Don't forget that at the time they were. These discussions were going on was when government wasn't running fully as a result of the various lockdown conditions.
Very well.
So
when you get onto the NHIS website under benefits package, almost over 95% of disease conditions that afflict us are covered by the NHIS. Our patient services, subway. And almost consultations including reviews. Conditions treated at outpatient setting include the following: malaria, acute respiratory tract infection, diarrheal disease, skin disease and ulcers, hypertension, acute eye infection, rheumatism, anemia, intestinal worms, disorders, acute ear infection, typhoid fever, dental caries, diabetes mellitus, STIs, asthma and other general and specialists. Investigations including laboratory investigations, X-rays, ultrasound scans for general and specialist outpatient services, HIV/AIDS symptomatic treatment for opportunistic infections, outpatient day surgical operations including hernia repairs, incision and drainage of abscesses, and excision of lumps and hemorrhoidectomy. Almost outpatient physiotherapy, medication, namely prescription medicines on the National Health Insurance Scheme medicines list, traditional medicines approved by FDA, and the prescribed by accredited medical and traditional medicine practitioners. Omo inpatient service, omo general and specialist inpatient care, investigations including lab investigations, X-ray, ultrasound, blah, 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 cervical and breast cancer treatment, diagnosis and complications from other cancers, example, anemia or obstruction, surgical operations including appendicectomy, that's removal of the appendix, inpatient physiotherapy, accommodation in general ward, feeding where available, medication, namely prescription medicines on the National Health Insurance Scheme medicines list, and processing for blood and blood product. Almost oral health, to say pain relief, which includes incision, drainage, tooth extraction, blah, 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 eye care services, refraction, visual field scan, keratometry, cataract removal, eyelid surgery, maternity care, antenatal care, deliveries, cesarean section, postnatal care. Yeah, cesarean section. Emergencies, almost all emergencies are covered. These are crisis health situations that demand urgent intervention and include medical emergencies and surgical emergencies, including brain surgery or heart surgery due to accident, pediatric emergencies, obstetric and gynecological emergencies, including cesarean sections, road traffic accident, industrial and workplace accident. And almost the exclusions, almost the following healthcare services are not covered under the NHIS: internal rehabilitation other than physiotherapy, appliances and prosthesis, cosmetic surgery, HIV antiretroviral, assisted reproduction, echocardiography, photography, angiography, neoma bebre, dialysis for chronic kidney failure.
Under NHIS.
Dialysis in Kahun CCR currently. Yeah. CCR where exclusions, neoma and cover. Yeah. Neoma and cover. Cancer treatment other than cervical and breast cancer, organ transplantation, medicine that are not on the NHIS medicine list, diagnosis and treatment abroad, medical examinations, VIP ward accommodation and mortuary services. In way money neoma Nioma
Obi,
Obi, 1 minute. Obi,
not all the cancers.
Okay.
When you go on the EC's website, EC has put there categorically that they are an independent body that listens to the cry of Ghanaians.
But
they have put a contact number there that when you are unhappy about anything about the EC, call.
Okay.
We have cried. We have called. We have done everything concerning this limited registration. Have they done it? Good evening, Ghana.
Nana ya jantua. A champion can be on the patch 2 minutes.
Obi, I just want to find out something. Say, government say kasa. The first lady I be a normal de account. First lady for normal can government. Or you're part of government.
She can't support the government.
When you
she cannot support the government.
When you read the constitution,
some choose to just travel and hold their handbags.
Because
you need to respect. I'm
sorry if you feel offended.
Seriously. Normally I don't go that route. Please, I beg you. Please, I beg you. I beg you. Don't even go there. That's not my style. Don't go there. Yes. I am saying, sir, they be as a government, me more nipa ba couldn't governments. First lady for no. And your private funds normally the omoye. I don't think they use government funds to do whatever they do. What am I saying? Because maybe obi o be first lady won't mean to an ejuma. So but I'm even advocating that the first lady should be made to work.
As an official on government budget.
Yes, or your ministry near nas or your doctor na bibia. You should start continuing with Nejuma.
That's what you mean.
That's what I mean.
And you're saying I'm an official rule.
Debbie, so your doctor won't continue in medicine.
Okay.
One of Mozambique said, then the first lady was a director of education. She continued to be a director of education. So person koko ye duty be a ministry na man kwan no ko. What I say? I know another thing, but first lady ye bibia, and any first lady on for private funds or the government funds.
It depends on where she sources the funds.
But she sources funds, and you're part of Open Conco Jina, Minister of Finance in Conco Jina Parliament, and Kase first lady Bessie way into Parliament approve Sika.
Of course,
it is not part of government project. Into or not out of yes, so the good thing is your first lady ya way or your nipa kama or your rabatins or junior nipa. Sometimes I may wonder I don't know when you're no presidential candidate because everything that it takes or your rabakam or casa fine everything. What did they meet you? Ojinawa or your back kama.
Okay, my beautiful Rebecca.
Okay. Ojinawa or casa fine. What did they meet you? Me chamasu niasa. What did they meet you? Intino or Junipa Honoko Bibia, a government project. What source in the private funding or the IFM? Is it on your part of government? Only rule be our constitution. What am I say? Nidi crampo ni constitution. Intino only rule or constitution, that's or no, I feel so. Oh, me or bad time. Me feel said near maybe or where it's a semi-share. My far way, media simeni so, me source funds na media. And no, your budget or parliament. Your budget or parliament. And come government in the main a year or year. It's more be a mamma to say, oh, first lady, why ye Juma fine? But any government budget. Obi, and ye alone now, Yakojina almost $1 trillion and ye beer on one alcohol source in the funds and or the aye. Or ye rabasso so come or cassa fine or Jina come.
Obi. General Secretary of the CPP. Nana ya jam to one year training kano. Nana ya medase. Nana ya day. Ekuya medase. Kozi medase. Yes.
Automo. No mama boy because oni baby man kasa unhu ni TV so unhu baby. But at least no baba be kasa kra. The way kasa with yahobrasie ne no. Ebetimi atampa arrogance na ye hu no.
Arrogance
because oye rabaka man hojo o kasa.
Ekosiisen so ni higher
like she's being compared to somebody.
I'm not comparing her to anybody.
Don't
even go there. I don't like that.
They have not delivered on their promises.
We are finished.
They have not delivered on their
promises. Yeah, that's it.
They have failed.
Oh no, why you have a song to sing?